Welcome to Trans Confessions. We have the ever so adorable Ella Hollywood with us today. How are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful.
That's good. It's good to meet you. It's my first time meeting you. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen you. You've been kind of making the rounds in the TS porn world. And I'm sure a lot of people are very interested to hear a little bit about your life. So let's talk.
All right.
Where are you from? How old are you?
I'm from California and I'm 19. SoCal, born and raised.
Very cool. That's awesome. What was it like growing up in California?
Expensive.
Yeah?
But the weather's wonderful, as everybody talks about, and it's a fun place to live.
So, you had a good upbringing. When did you, now, we talked a little bit beforehand, because this interview is a little bit different than the other ones we've done. You consider yourself non-binary.
Yeah. In my personal life, I'm pretty androgynous, pretty switchy. You know, I just try and present myself as who I am.
And when you say that, how do you mean, like, you want to present yourself as who you are? That means you go back and forth between...
A little bit. I'd say I go by they, them mostly. But when I'm doing porn, as you can see, I'm super feminine, super cutesy and stuff like that, because it's sort of a character that I play.
So, it's... the very feminine look is like an act for you for trans porn, sort of?
I'd say so.
Performance art, maybe?
Yeah, it's a bit performative, but you know, it's cute.
When did you start doing this?
I started doing camgirling stuff the day I turned 18.
Okay.
But I didn't start doing professional shoots until recently in December.
And how do you like it?
I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mostly because I enjoy attention. But I'm having a really great time meeting all these wonderful people, and you know, it's a fun job to do. Beats pretty much everything that I had as an option.
And what were those options before?
I was an artist assistant actually for a long time, for 6 months. I was living in LA and doing gilding for an artist, so I would make things gold.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a fucking rad job. I
Yeah.
loved it. But porn's pretty cool too.
Hey, what other jobs have you had other than gilding and porn?
I'd say I've never really worked a regular job.
Oh, okay.
I've only ever done wacky stuff. I did AV in high school. I was doing audio video for all the clubs and stuff like that, and they'd pay me and stuff like that, so it was fun.
So you're an artist.
A little bit, I'd
Yeah,
say
you've got
so.
an artsy side, maybe.
A little bit.
That's cool. So let's talk a little bit about your gender identity. At what age did you realize you were non-conforming?
I'd say I've always pretty much knew, where it was like I was torn between getting Spider-Man toys and dolls, but I didn't really tell anyone. And funny story, the way I came out to my mom was after my brother came out as female to male trans, which is kind of funny.
You have a sibling
Yes.
who's an FTM.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
he got hormones like the week before, and my mom jokingly asked, "Well, do you need hormones too?" And I was
And you were
like,
sure why not?
"Yeah."
I don't think I've ever met a sibling trans
The old
non-conforming.
switcheroo, as I call it.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, huh? Do you have any like gay or lesbian family members?
Yes, a wonderful gay uncle who I adore. Like, my immediate family, besides my brother being trans, is really pretty straightforward. So really, we're like the odd ones out. But you know, they're still pretty accepting and stuff like that.
Interesting. And I asked that because my mother is actually part-time lesbian, I guess you could call her. So I have a lot of like her and my aunt as well, and like I would say just non-conforming. So it's interesting to see if it's like maybe like a familial thing or you know whatever. So when was the first time you wore like girl clothing?
I would say I was 15 in high school, and like I was going out with a girl at the time, and we were like walking around shopping and stuff like that, and I was looking at all the leggings. I was like, these ones are cute. And she's like, get them. And I was like, all right. And so I did, and I wore them to school the next week, and I felt really cute and felt nice to be able to wear something feminine.
So you started presenting, like, well, it's hard for me to, I'm not familiar with the non-binary terminology. I'm using
not either.
mostly the transgender stuff. You started presenting as, I guess, non-conforming in high school?
Yeah, I would say
accurate?
I was dressing more androgynous or more feminine in high school.
And what was the response like from other students and teachers? And
most students didn't really care, or the ones that did care thought it was pretty cool, but you know, there were some people who would like throw stuff at me at lunch, and it was just sort of like,
they're like jock types or...
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I never really talked to them. They were just like, oh, this kid's wearing a dress. That's scary.
But they were kind of like the minority then.
Yeah.
In terms of...
most people were very accepting of it.
Well, yeah, California, SoCal, kind of on the up and up with all the stuff.
Plus, I was a cool kid, so everybody was very accepting of that.
That's cool. Now, what was your first relationship like? Was it with a woman? Was it with a man?
My first relationship was with a girl. Lovely, lovely gal that I stayed together with for like 2 years. That was like 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
Into 9th grade.
You had a 2-year relationship in 8th grade?
You wouldn't. So that was my first relationship, and they came out as gender fluid.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
And they were like totally cool about it. And then my next relationship after that lasted all of high school. So it was 3 years, pretty much.
Wow. So high school sweethearts.
Yes.
Non-conforming sweethearts.
And that second partner really helped me like get comfortable with my identity and presenting as feminine, or just being androgynous and being myself. It was really nice.
Do you think you guys were like attracted to each other because you were in similar situations? Like, could you maybe relate better? Or?
Maybe. I wasn't with that first partner. I wasn't really. I hadn't had it figured out then. But I would say that it was nice to sort of learn from them and their experiences. And moving forward, I was more comfortable with myself, having seen how somebody else interacted with their own identity in a similar way.
Cool. How did your father deal with your gender nonconformity? Was he okay with it? Maybe a little bit?
My dad at the time, because my dad's no longer with us.
Oh.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But at the time, he didn't really care. He was pretty okay with everything. So it was. I'd say he doesn't really care is better than he was disapproving, but I wouldn't say he was as supportive as I would like.
So maybe a little bit on the fence.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
But oh well, you know, it's a lot better than what other people get.
Yeah, for sure. Do you consider yourself fortunate to have grown up in like a liberal area?
Where I lived in Orange County is a little bit more conservative.
Oh, okay.
So the people around me were a bit more like standoffish about it, and so I sort of stuck out, but I was also attractive. So.
Did you have any like bad experiences with people outside of school, like strangers, or?
I have, but mostly they were situations where like a guy was being creepy or something like that, and so it wasn't really like, oh, look at this kid, he doesn't know which bathroom to use. It was more of more of them interpreting me as feminine and following me and stuff like that.
Oh.
Which is kind of fucked up, but it's also sort of flattering. Where it's like, oh, I'm doing something right, you know.
So it was more of like a creepy, stalkery kind of
plenty
bad
of guys
experience.
Like that.
Sure. Yeah, I think a lot of girls go through that. So you hooked up with women before men, or?
Women before men, yes.
And when was the first time you hooked up with a guy?
First time I hooked up with a guy was I was hanging out with my gal pal back, let's say it was only like a year and a half ago now. Hanging out with my gal pal and her boyfriend was over, we were playing video games, and she was really horny and very obvious about it, and she passively suggested that I suck her boyfriend's dick. So I did, and I really enjoyed it. And eventually, like, things got a little bit even more heated, and he fucked me, and it was really hard. It was really great.
So you're telling me you lost your guy virginity in front of your girlfriend who was dating said guy?
She's a gal pal.
I meant, yeah, like your friend is a girl.
Yeah. That's what happened.
That's quite a confession.
Yes.
And what was it like, immediately following that? Was it awkward, or are you guys just still hanging out?
I mean, we're still hanging out because we're like super cool and super open and super chill. And hopefully I see them again soon because we live closer now, which is wonderful. So hopefully there's more of that to come.
That's pretty epic. I don't think I've ever heard a story like that before. Most people lose their virginity, in the back of a car or some very high schooly like that. That's where I lost mine. But that's really crazy. It's been really nice talking to you.
Yes,
really nice meeting you and getting to know you. And we hope to see you again here at Transerotica because you're super cute and super nice.
Thank you very much. Bye.